I think in the Quebec history, we have to understand that it is also a history of immigration.
This may look like an ordinary suit jacket, but for Montrealer Winston Chan, it's a piece of history, and he's hoping Quebec City's Musée de la Civilisation thinks so too. As part of an upcoming permanent exhibition on Quebec society, the museum is asking for immigrants and their descendants to submit objects that represent their contact with the province.
You know, we're not just looking to collect physical items, but the stories that go with them.
The museum's previous exhibition was a hit, but it only showcased Quebec's history up until the 1980s. For their next exhibition coming up in May 2024, they want to include a new narrative, the point of view of immigrants and Indigenous people living in Quebec.
We're hoping that people, while visiting the exhibition, will be, discovering those narratives as well. And that people like immigrants or First Nation people will, recognize themselves.
Which is why they're calling on immigrants, including second or third generation immigrants in Quebec, to submit their objects.
One of the objects I want to submit is the jacket and the winter coat of my father that he bought in Hong Kong in the 1970s.
Like many who came to Quebec, the first thing Chan's father had in mind was to find a job once he immigrated to Montreal in 1975.
He bought that jacket and that winter coat to prepare for his work interview, and also to be prepared for the winter time as well.
But there were more hardships to face than the winter weather. According to Chan, Chinese migrants were once targeted by racist and discriminatory laws such as the Chinese head tax, a policy that required them to pay for a certificate to live in Canada. He is hoping that such objects representing hardships faced by the Chinese community could be submitted to the museum.
By submitting objects is one way to be part of the Quebec history.
In Montreal, Diona Macalinga, City News.